Thank you, Michael. I am Perpetual Fasomi Peter. Vice President Yemi OSINBAJO on Monday formally declared his intention to run for president in 2023. IBrandTV senior correspondent IBojo reports that the vice president made the declaration in a short broadcast via his Twitter handle.
Today, with utmost humility, formally declaring my intention to run for the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on the platform of our great party, the All Progressives Congress.
After months of intense speculation, Vice President OSINBAJO broke the silence on his intention to run for the position of President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Professor OSINBAJO said in the past 7 years, he has served as Vice President under a true Nigerian patriot and a man of integrity, President Muhammadu Buhari, and have together walked through some of the most difficult times in the history of the nation. He said in the period of 7 years, he has served the government in several capacities and have, at the direction of the president, represented the nation in sensitive high-level international engagements.
We have together worked through some of the most difficult times in the history of our nation, but we have remained focused on securing the country, on providing infrastructure and growing our economy. As stipulated by the Nigerian Constitution, our tenure will end next year. In this period of 7 years, I have served the government in several capacities.
Professor OSINBAJO said with his experience as the Vice President of the country, he is the best man for the job.
I have served as Vice President under a true Nigerian patriot, a servant of the nation in war and peace, and a man of integrity, President Muhammadu Buhari. We have together worked through some of the most difficult times in the history of our nation, but we have remained focused on securing the country, on providing infrastructure and growing our economy.
Vice President OSINBAJO is a senior advocate of Nigeria and a former lecturer at the University of Lagos. He is also a senior pastor with the Redeemed Christian Church of God. IBojo reporting for IBrandTV News.
His declaration ends months of speculation over his interest in the 2023 presidential race and widens the pool of candidates for the position. It also puts him in direct confrontation with his former boss in Lagos State, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who signaled his intention earlier in the year. Lagos State Police Public Relations Officer Benjamin Hundeyin has further reiterated the validity of existing tinted glass permit. This he disclosed in an exclusive interview with IBrandTV while fielding questions from our correspondent. He urged individuals to install CCTV cameras in their various homes and offices while unveiling security information to the police.
A portal where Nigerians can apply for tinted glasses permit. So sometime last year, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Akali Baba, decided to upgrade the portal. And for that reason, the portal became inaccessible to Nigerians. So the upgrade is still ongoing and people cannot apply for new permits. But the clarification that was made and still subsists is that the existing permits are still valid. But for people who want to apply for new permits, it's not ongoing. So for that reason, no policeman is allowed or permitted to ask for tint permit. I can tell you that the crime rate in Lagos has been very minimal. Yes, I understand that a few pockets of crime that happen here and there get maximum publicity, so it might want to give that impression that there is a lot of crime, but no, statistically there isn't. It's actually on the decline, and that's because there have been concerted efforts on the part of the leadership of the police in Lagos State under CP Abiodun Alabi to ensure that DPOs and area commanders are on top of their games. They supervise their men and make sure they collaborate a lot with the community members to get feedback and intelligence that could help us do our job.
The police have rescued 39 kidnapped victims, mostly women and children, in ZAMFARA state. The State Commissioner of Police, Ayuba Elkanah, confirmed the development in a statement on Monday. The victims were abducted in March and April 2022 from various villages in Bugudu and Maru local government areas of the state. Elkanah said their rescue was due to the ongoing clearance operations by the joint police and military at the Daba Magaji camp, located at Kadanya Forest, stretching between Kaura Mamuda and Maradun local government areas. According to him, the command arrested 10 suspects, including members of the outlawed group Yan Sakai, for various offenses. Items recovered from them include locally fabricated guns, vehicles, motorcycles, and other exhibits. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde says the efforts of his administration to upgrade the Ibadan airport to international standard have remained on course. He added that his government considers the airport as key and central to its vision to expand the state's economy, stating that the government would continue to partner with critical individuals to bring about the success of the venture. The governor, who was represented by his chief of staff, Honorable Segun Ogunwuyi, stated this at the weekend during the retirement ceremony held in honor of Ogenetega Ayenuro, the outgoing airport manager. Ogunwuyi, who on behalf of the governor described Mrs. Ayenuro as a friend of Oyo State, lauded her for everything she had done for the facility and the state. He assured the gathering that the state would continue to partner with the retiring director. The Court of Appeal has restrained the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, and others from frustrating the hearing of an appeal against a judgment mandating the AGF to delete Section 84, subsection 12 from the Electoral Act 2022. A three-member panel led by Justice Rita Nosaka-Rekbemu in a ruling granted the People's Democratic Party, PDP, permission to appeal as an interested party against the March 18, 2022 judgment by Justice Evelyn Anyadike of the Federal High Court in Umuahia. The appeal court made the order in a ruling delivered at the Owerri Division on April 7. The court also granted an accelerated hearing in the appeal. Justice Anyadike had on the March 18 judgment in the suit by Edede marked FHC/UM/CS/26/2022 held that Section 18, subsection 12 of the amended Electoral Act is unconstitutional and should be struck down. The judge noted that Section 66, subsection 1F, 107, subsection 1F, 137, subsection 1F, and Section 182, subsection 1F of the 1999 Constitution already stipulated that government appointees seeking to contest elections are only to resign at least 30 days before the election. She held that any other law that mandates such appointees to resign or leave the office at any time before the 30 days provided in the Constitution was unconstitutional and void to the extent of its inconsistency with the clear provisions of the Constitution. The Federal High Court's vacation has stalled the judgment in suit seeking for the declaration of the seat of Rep. Yakubu Dogara vacant on account of his defection to the All Progressives Congress, APC. Two separate suits filed against Dogara was fixed for today, Monday, by Justice Donatus Okuruwo of an Abuja division of FHC. The first suit marked FHC/ABJ/CS/883/30 and filed by Incorporated Trustees of United Global Resources for Peace Organization versus Rep. Yakubu Dogara and 5 others was on number 1 on the cause list. However, the second suit marked FHC/ABJ/CS/1060/20 filed by the People's Democratic Party PDP versus Rep. Yakubu Dogara and 4 others was on number 5 in today's cause list. PDP and the group had asked the court to remove the former Speaker, House of Representatives Dogara, as member representing Das, Tafawa Balewa and Buguru Federal Constituency of Bauchi State over his defection to APC. Dogara had on July 24, 2020 defected from the PDP to APC when he submitted a resignation letter to the chairman of the Bugurusi ward in the state. The judgments could not be delivered since FHC had begun its Easter vacation. The court began the vacation on April 8 and will end April 25. The federal government yesterday admitted that some security personnel deployed to fight oil theft were heavily involved in collaborating with those stealing the commodity in the Niger Delta. Minister of State, Petroleum Resources, Mr. Timipre Silva, who spoke on the national television during the program last night, noted that the government was planning various layers to monitor the personnel paid to halt the menace. Silva stated that the current incessant vandalism of oil and gas pipelines was a metamorphosis of the militants in the Niger Delta region, which, although led to the training of several youth in the region, has extended to the ongoing challenge. The minister noted that oil theft was not a creation of the Muhammadu Buhari administration, stressing that it has been in Nigeria for decades. He said that at the time there was some sympathy for the culprits, which aggravated the matter. The minister stated that the situation is no longer sustainable, pointing out that Nigeria is currently losing a lot of its production, a development that spurred the president to act on the matter. No less than 101 parcels of cocaine concealed in 8 children duvets have been intercepted by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, at the Maritana Mohammed International Airport, Lagos. According to a statement yesterday by the spokesman of the Anti-Narcotics Agency, Femi Babafemi, the illicit drug was brought into the country by a 52-year-old Brazilian returnee, Akoderenwa Uchenna. He said Uchenna was arrested on Saturday at the de-arrival hall of the Lagos airport upon his return from Sao Paulo, Brazil, via Doha aboard Qatar airline flight, noting that the 101 parcels of the Class A drug with a gross weight of 13.2 kilograms were recovered from his only check-in bag. During preliminary interrogation, Uchenna, who claimed to be a carpenter, confessed that he was to be paid 5 million naira for trafficking the drug after successfully delivering the consignment in Lagos. Meanwhile, Chairman and Chief Executive of NDLEA, Brigadier General Buba Marwa, retired, while commanding officers and men of the MMIA, AIIA, Edo, ZAMFARA, Akwa Ibom, Lagos, and Ondo State commands of the agency for the arrest and seizures charged them and their colleagues across the country to remain focused and abstain from acts capable of compromising or jeopardizing the collective goal of ridding Nigeria of drug abuse and illicit drug trafficking. The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, Benin Zonal Command, says it has arrested 3 women for alleged human trafficking and child abuse. Mr. Ndoka Wanwene, the Zonal Commander, disclosed this on Monday in Benin. Wanwene said the arrests were made at different locations in Benin during the weekend. He explained that whereas one of the suspects was arrested for alleged human trafficking, the other 2 were arrested for alleged child abuse. According to him, in the trafficking case, an 18-year-old suspect was arrested for recruiting 2 young girls aged 17 and 16 respectively for one other suspected human trafficker who is resident in Republic of Benin. The zonal commander further explained that on the child abuse case, one of the suspects, a 32-year-old lady, had inflicted injuries on her 11-year-old cousin with mopstick for mistakenly breaking a glass cup. He added that the victim was usually made to sleep on the floor or corridor for any misdemeanor, in spite of being the one who usually woke up at 5 a.m. to start the house chores. Investigation into the matter is still ongoing, while the victim has been taken to NAPTIP for medical attention, said Wanwene. Bruce Finn, the lawyer to the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has petitioned the UN Security Council to investigate Nigeria and Kenya over the arrest and extradition of the secessionist. KANU, who was arrested in June last year in Kenya and brought to Nigeria after leaving the country in 2017, is in the custody of the Department of State Services, DSS. But in a petition co-signed by KANU'S wife, Uche Kanu, dated April 9, 2022, and addressed to the UK ambassador to the UN, Barbara Woodward, the duo sought the Council's probe into the criminal kidnapping, torture, extraordinary rendition of KANU. And now, from the African scene, Gambian President's political party won a narrow victory in the legislative elections held on April 9. Adama Barrow's National People's Party, NPP, won 19 of the 53 parliamentary seats up for grabs, according to the country's Independent Electoral Commission. This means although the NPP has overturned the majority held by its main opponents, the United Democratic Party, they will have to seek for a coalition to govern the 58-seat chamber. The president will have to appoint 5 additional lawmakers from his own party in the next few days, including the Speaker of the House. President Barrow took power in 2017 and was re-elected last December, ending over 2 decades of dictatorship under Yahya Jammeh. Among several challenges facing the Gambian president in West Africa's young democracy, a response to recommendations from a commission that investigated crimes committed by the state under the Jammeh regime is expected. The new parliament is due to be sworn in on April 14. And moving on to the foreign scene, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Monday asked Seoul for any military aid it could provide, as he said Russia could only be forced to make peace. Speaking in a video address to South Korean lawmakers, Zelensky said his country needed more help, including weapons, if it is to survive the war. Zelensky said South Korea had many weapons that could not only help save the lives of ordinary Ukrainians, but help prevent Russia from attacking other nations. There is and cannot be a hope that Russia will stop on its own, Zelensky had said. Russia can only be forced to do this, can only be forced to seek peace, end of quote. Meanwhile, Seoul's defense ministry on Monday said it had rejected a request by Ukrainian Defense Minister Oleksiy Reznikov for anti-aircraft weapons. In a phone call on Friday, South Korean Defense Minister Seo Wook told his Ukrainian counterpart that any support of lethal weapons would be limited in light of South Korea's security situation and its potential impact on military readiness, Ministry spokesman Bo Sung-chan said at a briefing. South Korea has provided humanitarian assistance worth $10 million to Ukraine and pledged last week to send another $30 million, while shipping some 20 types of non-lethal items, including bulletproof helmets and medical kits. Ukrainian troops have repelled several Russian assaults on the country's east, the focus of a new offensive by the invading forces, British intelligence said on Monday, while President Volodymyr Zelensky said this week will be crucial to the course of the war. Austrian leader Karl Nehammer planned to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow on Monday and will call for an end to the conflict. It would be Putin's first face-to-face meeting with a European Union leader since Russia's invasion started on February 24. Russian forces were also pushing their offensive to establish control over the southern port city of Mariupol, a key target whose capture would link up areas of Russian control to the west and east. The Russian invasion has left a trail of death, of destruction that has drawn condemnation from Western countries and triggered concern about Putin's broader ambitions. About a quarter of Ukraine's 44 million population have been forced from their homes, cities turned into rubble, and thousands of people have been killed or injured, many of them civilians. Russian forces have abandoned their attempt to capture the capital Kyiv, but are rebounding their efforts in Ukraine's east. Britain's defense ministry said Russian shelling continued in the Donetsk and Luhansk regions. Ukrainian forces had beaten back several assaults and destroyed Russian tanks, vehicles, and artillery equipment, it said in its regular intelligence bulletin. The report also said Russia's continued reliance on unguided bombs greatly increased the risk of further civilian casualties. Ramzan Kadyrov, the powerful head of Russia's Republic of Chechnya, said early on Monday that there will be an offensive by Russian forces not only on the besieged port of Mariupol, but also on Kyiv and other Ukrainian cities. There will be an offensive not only on Mariupol, but also in other places, cities and villages, Kadyrov said in a video posted on his Telegram channel. Luhansk and Donetsk we will fully liberate in the first place, and then take Kyiv and all other cities, end of quote. Kadyrov, who has often described himself as Russian President Vladimir Putin's foot soldier, said there should be no doubt about Kyiv. Kadyrov has been repeatedly accused by the United States and European Union of rights abuses, which he denies. Moscow fought two wars with separatists in Chechnya, a mainly Muslim region in southern Russia, after the 1991 breakup of the Soviet Union. But it has since poured huge sums of money into the region to rebuild it and given Kadyrov a large measure of autonomy. It's a wrap on this segment. Many thanks for watching. I am Perpetua Fasami Peter. Back to you, Michael.
True unripe plantain flour is 100% natural flour gotten from the processing of unripe plantain. It contains no addictive and has a net content of 500 grams. True unripe plantain flour contains vitamin A, B6 and C. It is gluten-free and rich in calcium. Consuming through unripe plantain flour helps to build and strengthen stronger bones and can be a great meal for diabetic patients. It decreases your chances of constipation as it has a high fiber content and provides you with a low-fat diet. Here are some steps to prepare your true unripe plantain flour. Firstly, mix true unripe plantain flour with hot water in a pot and gradually add water till you achieve desired thickness. Place over medium heat and turn very well for 4 to 5 minutes to get the right texture. Mold into a ball and place in a bowl and allow to cool. Serve with your choice of soup. True unripe plantain flour can be eaten with any variety of soup, be it your ofe oha, ofe onugbu, begiri, ewedu, or your miyan kuka. To get your true unripe plantain flour, contact us at 12 Olowera Isheri Road by First Welder bus stop off Omole Phase 2, Olowera, Lagos, Nigeria, or call 070-6663-8213 or 081-6397-4447. Distributors are needed nationwide.
The cosmetics and personal care industry globally generates an estimated annual turnover of around $400 billion over the last 20 years. In Nigeria, the beauty and personal care market could reach 3.2 billion euros by 2021, making Nigeria the rising star in sub-Saharan Africa. Products for hair and body care are predominant on the beauty market in sub-Saharan Africa, where face products and makeup remain marginal but have strong potential. Africa's largest economy clearly has a lot to offer. The Nigerian beauty and personal care market is currently worth more than $1.25 billion at retail and is forecast to reach more than $1.31 billion next year, according to Euromonitor International. It includes a wide range of products from skincare items to makeup and beauty items. These are items that predominantly appeal to women and men alike to purchase beauty products, even though men are interested in cosmetics. Nigeria has emerged as the investment destinations of choice to international firms aiming to capture the beauty and personal care market in the continent. The photograph.
Thanks, Perpetua. Coming up next, entertainment business.
Hello and welcome to Entertainment Business. I am Chioma Amaribulam. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 hit $71 million in its domestic box office debut, towering over Morbius and Ambulance, which debuted to a disappointing $8 million. The first movie collected $58 million in its first 3 days of release and ended the weekend with a whopping $70 million. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 cost $90 million to produce, while Ambulance cost $40 million. Jeff Fowler returned to direct Sonic the Hedgehog 2 after steering the original film to $319 million globally and setting a record of the highest-grossing video game adaptation in North America. Ben Schwartz returned to voice the speedy blue creature with a knack for busting bad guys, and Jim Carrey reprised his role as mad scientist Dr. Robotnik, a combo that has proven to be a hit among moviegoers. Ambulance had a slow start, and this shows that consumers' tastes are changing. In the current movie theater environment, fewer genres seem to be resonating with ticket buyers. And away from that, AT&T's Warner Media and Discovery Inc. have completed a merger, the company said on Friday. The combined company, Warner Bros. Discovery Incorporated, will start trading on the NASDAQ on Monday under the ticker symbol WBD. In May last year, the company set out to merge and become a standalone media business, with AT&T aiming to focus more on its wireless ambitions and Discovery looking to beef up its content library. In March 2022, Discovery investors voted in approval of the company's $43 million acquisition of Warner Media from AT&T to create Warner Bros. Discovery. Warner Bros. Discovery portfolio includes Discovery Channel, Warner Bros. Entertainment, CNN, HBO, Cartoon Network, streaming services like Discovery Plus and HBO Max, and franchises like Batman and Harry Potter. And away from that now to the Nigerian sector, Nigerian singer and songwriter Oluwatosin Ajibade, popularly known as Mr. Easy, has proposed to his longtime girlfriend and actress Temioluwa Elizabeth Otedola. The billionaire's daughter took to her official Instagram page to announce her engagement with her boyfriend after dating for 5 years. She shared a video of Mr. Easy proposing to her by the waterside and captioned the video with an infinity sign. Temioluwa Elizabeth Otedola, a London-based Nigerian fashion blogger, an entrepreneur, and also the daughter of Nigerian billionaire Femi Otedola, is worth over $2 million or 831 million naira. Femi Otedola, her father, is worth over $1.8 billion or 748 billion naira. Mr. Easy, the soon-to-be husband, is also worth $1.5 million or 623 million naira. Congratulations to Mr. Easy and Temi Otedola. And that's it on Entertainment Business. I am Chioma Amari Bulam.
And up next, sport business.
The Los Angeles Lakers and Houston Rockets might revisit a trade this summer involving two aging point guards in the final years of their Supermax contracts. The Lakers are looking for ways to improve the roster after a failed experiment with Russell Westbrook is owed $47.1 million next season, the fourth highest by annual salary in the NBA. But the trade wouldn't shed much salary for either team. Wall, on the other hand, is owed $47.4 million next year, the second highest by annual salary, and the Rockets, however, might be able to construct a buyout since they only have $3 million on the payroll in 2023. And still talking sports business at this hour, Qatar is set to spend more than $220 billion on the upcoming 2022 World Cup, while expecting a $20 billion economic boost from hosting football's prestigious tournament. Qatar's hosting cost exceeds previous hosting records, which are United States 1994, which cost $500 million, the France 98 World Cup, which cost $2.3 billion, Japan 2002, which cost $7 billion, Germany 2006, which cost $4.3 billion, and South Africa 2010, which cost $3.6 billion. The World Cup in Brazil in 2014 cost $15 billion, while in the last edition held in Russia cost $11.6 billion. The costs are associated with Qatar's new stadiums, which have been reported in the range of $6.5 billion to $10 billion, a significant increase from the proposed $4 billion in the initial bid. But that still leaves roughly $210 billion to be accounted for. Much of the infrastructure costs attributed to the World Cup are part of the country's broader Qatar 2030 plan, which is to build an innovation hub with hotels, so sophisticated underground transportation, stadiums and airports. While the World Cup has spurred these projects along, they are largely investments for the long term for Qatar. And finally, on sports business at this hour, golf legend Tiger Woods has earned an estimated $1.7 billion since he turned professional, with more than 90% of the tally off the cost from endorsements, appearances and cost design fees. The total is more than $2 billion adjusted for inflation and second all-time among athletes behind only Michael Jordan. His $121 million in career prize money is 26% ahead of number 2 Phil Mickelson. Total prize money on the PGA Tour was $75 million the year before Woods turned pro. The tour says it will pay out $685 million this year in prize money, bonus programs and contributions to healthcare and pension plans. The 11-time PGA Tour Player of the Year finished first in the Sports New Player Impact Program that awarded $40 million last year to players that generated the most buzz among fans on social media and in the news. Woods received an $8 million payout despite only playing one unofficial event, which is the PNC Championship, a 36-hole exhibition with his son Charlie. And that's it on sports business. I'm Samson Olede.
And that's it on Business Now here on IBrandTV Lagos. Thanks very much for watching. I'm Michael Nath.